I'll wait till everybody get down. I'm talking to you about these three families. 1, 2, 3. This triptych, these pieces are all connected. Anybody in the audience knows, in 2 sentences, can give me the prodigal son story? Go for it.
He went out and he spent all his father's money on like women, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back penniless and destitute. And his father accepted him. And his other brother was kind of jealous that he followed his father's, like advice and everything. And he felt like kind of slighted by his father going to the works. So it didn't have to party too much.
Indeed. Beautiful telling of the story. The story that he basically just shared with you is a parable that Christ basically told to the people and trying to share with them some of the biblical truths that he was trying to get them to understand more deeply. So what I did was I created this triptych that retells the story of the prodigal son in a contemporary context. Now, I was having a conversation with Ryan the other night. We had dinner and so forth, and we had this conversation about music. And I'm telling you, he and I probably sit up for several days in a row talking about music. But one of the things that we were talking about is the foundations of hip hop and about that musical formation. And if you want to talk about the foundations of hip hop, you got to go back to the fields because it comes all the way back from there. It goes from the spirituals, it goes through the gospels, it goes through R&B, it goes through all those jazz and blues, all those musical idioms and the configurations of it, and it brings it to right now. We're in this moment of hip hop where it's all around, so you can't escape it. So I use that kind of musical idiom as a structure for the work that you're seeing in front of you. So when you're looking at it, I want you to feel the rhythm. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel the rhythm of your heart. The title of this piece is called Halloo, which is an expressive call to get one's attention. Halloo is a hunting term. Halloo, halloo, they will call out as they go out into the forest and hunt for their food. But in the image, I took some of the natural things that we deal with, and one of those things is a TV dinner created in the 50s. Instead of the two sitting down and eating the TV dinner, the TV is literally consuming him. As the fork and the knife is going into his brain. As he's looking at the guy who's rapping on the television screen. And he's espousing all of his words out to the world. He's saying on one part of his neck about his spirituality. But on another side of his neck, he's talking about the formation of women as being female dogs. Inside of this box are the ways in which the sound waves are coming out and causing confusion within our youth. Where the confusing signs get all the way pushed into the threads of their clothing. Everything we wear and how we wear it, how we walk, how we talk. So is it S-A-V-E? Or does that say S-E-X? Or does that say S-I-N? I'm not sure. That says say L-O-V-E? Or no, that says L-U-S-T. No, that's L-O-S-T. Oh, that's hope. H-O-P-E. No. That says D-O-P-E. Oh, that says feel. And if you're looking for words here, you're messing with you now. That's the confusion signs of the words in terms of how they're speaking to us. So I asked the question of the prodigal son story. I said, what would be the elements that would draw the son out into the world? And I began to think about the contemporary accoutrements that will affect his mind and make me want to pull us away from the confines of the home, which pulls us to the piece called exit wounds. Exit wounds is a military term. When a bullet goes in and it goes out on the other side. But I thought about it from a spiritual term, in terms of the son saying bye to the father, leaving our household, the mother standing here, the brother standing in the back, and he's going out to the world, squandering away his wealth, And as he's fully separated out into the world, he is bombarded by all these spirits that are hitting him from all directions inside of the compositional space. The fork embedded in his shoulder. He begins to think that there's no way out. But he's crying for help. He's asking for someone to save him. And then inside of his mind, he goes into this internalized prison where the thought of suicide seems like a possible answer to the pain in which he's feeling, because he knows that he just messed up. He got hooked on drugs. He's all caught up in the streets. Everything is falling apart. The spirit starts speaking to him in his mind and starts telling him, no, man, you're just going to kill yourself. You can't live, man. You can't go back home. I can imagine those words and how they work with him, but I don't leave him there, because on his sleeve is a symbol of the Alpha and Omega, and there's a key that's above it. And I cry for help. There's help that's coming for him, because on the right-hand side of the compositional space, the spirit with his heart is seeping and going around to his heart, and hopefully leaving a remnant within him to let him know that taking his life is not the answer. Then I leave you with the last piece of the prodigal son story. Your past may be stained, but your future is untouched. As I show you the embrace of the Son and the Father, like a swaddling cloth, is wrapping around them. The Spirit is binding and rebinding and renewing and retelling the story. As the spirits are coming in, the spirits of love coming in, taking away those spirits that were holding on to him, pulling away the drugs out of his life, and giving him help that he needs in order to rejuvenate the relationship between him and his Father. So I took it to the next level, because I began to think about the story of Christ and Nicodemus in the garden. And Nicodemus went to him and he was like trying to say, hey, is it true that what they say about you is Christ? And Christ said to him, in order for man to be entered into the kingdom of heaven, he must be reborn. You remember I talked about over there in the piece about the second line. And so the rebirth that I'm talking about is a literal rebirth in the sense that I show you a pregnant woman and she's hidden inside the compositional space. It's very hard to see, but that's the bottom of her nose, that's her top lip, that's her bottom lip, that's her chin, that's her neck. This is her breast coming around her here, and this is her belly. They're literally binding and being reborn inside of this relationship, and they're trying to create a new relationship. As the tears fall from his eyes, the tears from his father in terms of the embrace, and as it flows from his lips, this confession which connects to the key, which is from the second compositional space that goes into the hand, that's coming from the right-hand side of the compositional space that has a keyhole in it, and it's a representation of Christ, because it's confession that flows from his lips connects to a key that goes into that unlocks his salvation and gives him the freedom within his spirit. And then out of the mouth comes from the side, come unto me, all ye are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And you wonder where the brother is at, who was jealous, who looked on and said, well, you cut the fatted calf for him, you do that for me, I've been here the whole time. You never gave me a party like that, Dad. The brother's on the right-hand side of the compositional space. I don't leave him there, because that spirit that came for the brother is coming down for him too. The prodigal son.